Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the English class. Today we will take up the poem The Lake Isle of Innisfree. This poem is in class ninth syllabus of CBSE Board NCERT. The poem is written by W.B. Yeats, William Butler Yeats. This poem is a very beautiful piece of literature and it explores the poet's longing for peace and tranquility which he finds in nature. Now, before I move ahead with the poem, I would like to tell you that William Butler Yeats is a very legendary personality of English literature. He's an Irish poet and he has been awarded with Nobel Prize for Literature in 1923. He picks up the words very carefully and then brilliantly puts them in his poems together to express the abstract thoughts which carry a significant value. The central idea and theme of this poem is peace and tranquility, which is sought by modern day generation people as well as the people who have lived before us. Equally, this search has led the people towards the countryside. And that is what W.B. Yeats also expresses in his poem, that it is impossible to find the tranquility in the busy city life. And it is the countryside or the villages that we ultimately resort to for that peace. Now, moving ahead with the poem in your book, which is on page number 54, I would like to introduce the poem with the introduction given in the book. This well known poem explores the poet's longing for the peace and tranquility of Innisfree, a place where he spent a lot of time as a boy, means in his childhood. This poem is a lyric. Now, starting with the title, The Lake Isle of Innisfree. Lake Isle means the lake island of Innisfree, which is a place where the poet himself has spent his childhood. So we are talking about a geographical location which is attached and the poet is very close to the place. It's attached to the poet's heart. Now, more than just being a geographical location, the place that is expressed in this poem has a great emotional connect with the poet, which we will go through as we read the poem. Moving on to the structure of the poem, it has three stanzas of 4 lines each. Starting with the first stanza, I will read the first stanza and then explain it side by side. This first stanza goes like, I will arise and go now, and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin built there of clay and wattles made. 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honey bee, and live alone in the bee-loud glade. See, in the first stanza itself, we experience the search of peace by the poet. And the search has already ended. He has already decided where is that place where he is planning to go. He says, I will arise and go now. Right at this moment, I decide to get up and leave for Innisfree and go to Innisfree. And a small cabin built there, and I will build a small cabin there. He is not just planning to go and experience and return back, but he is planning to live there, to settle there, to build a small cabin there. And that cabin will also not be made of cement and concrete and tiles like the modern day buildings, but he says that will be made of clay and wattles. Now, clay we already know, mud, and wattles are the sticks that are used for making fences, the wooden sticks, the twisted sticks. And then what is his plan there? 9 bean rows. He'll grow beans there in 9 rows. Will I have there, he's saying, a hive for the honeybee. And for the company, I will build a hive for the honeybee. and I will live alone there. I don't need company. I don't long for any company of beings, human beings. But I will live alone in the bee loud glade. Bee loud glade means the beehive that I am building, I'll have their company, the sound of beehive, the bees. In that glade, that space where the bees' sound will be loud, I will live there alone. Moving on to the second stanza. And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the wheels of the morning to where the cricket sings. There midnight is all a glimmer, and noon a purple glow, and evenings full of the linnet's wings. He is trying to express what is his imaginations, what are his fancies about being there, what is going to be the reality of his life there. He's so enchanted and so thrilled by it that he is trying to transfer the same thrill and the same enchantment to his readers. He says, and I shall have some peace there. And then when I reach there, I build a clay cabin and I have bee hive and I have bean rows, then I'll have some peace there. Why? Why then I'll have some peace? Because peace comes dropping slow. Because it's slowly that peace and tranquility transfer to your soul. Dropping from, and from where will this peace come? It comes from the wheels of the morning, from the cover of the morning. As the sun rises, it rises with that. The peace rises with the dawn, with the rise of the sun. To where? Up to where will it go? To where the cricket sings. Cricket is an insect which sings in the evening, in the dusk time. So it is beginning with the beginning of the day and is continuing till the end of the day. There midnight all a glimmer, and in that space, in that place, midnight is going to be all starry and with filled with the glimmer. It is going to be shiny and glamorous with no artificiality, and noon a purple glow, and the noon time is going to be in a purple glow. Purple is a color associated with royalty. So the glow of the sun is going to be so royal in the daytime, in the noontime, that the day is going to be filled with that royal light. An evening full of linnet wings. And in the evening time, I will have all around me the wings of linnet. Linnet is a small brown and grey bird with short beak and its feathers are shed around. So he said, for evening I'll have full of these birds who will shed their wings around me. The third and the last stanza of the poem, I will arise and go now. See, he began in the first stanza and he's again repeating his dedication, his determination. I will arise and go now for always, night and day. I hear the lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore, while I stand on the roadway or on the pavement's grey. I hear it in the deep heart's core. So the poet is not missing out on his reality. In this stanza, he expresses where he is, but then he also tells that he's determined to go where is the place of his dreams. He says, I will arise and I will go now. Just now I'll arise, I'll get up and I'll start for my destination. I'll go there for always, for spending my nights and days. He says, I can hear the water of the lake that is lapping, that's going in the waves and is hitting the shore, and that sound I can hear. He's saying, while I stand on the roadway, when I'm standing on the path, on the pavements that are grey, wherever I'm standing, I can hear that in my heart, and that is the place I decide to go. I hear it in the deep heart's core. I can hear it in my heart core, and I am going to start for that place very soon. I'll arise and go now. That's the poem written by William Butler Yeats. I hope I was clear to you and you understood it well. With the exercises, following the same routine goes unsaid. Now, I would like you to please go through this video as well as the notes that I gave you with it. The poem seems very simple and small but has a deep underlying meaning which the poet and your teacher desires to reach to you. Thank you.